Hey yo, what it do, peoples? What's good? It's your boy Kevin Wright, aka Kev on Mission, coming in here with another video. Before we get into it, I just want to do some quick housekeeping as always. First and foremost, if you listen to this video, if you watch this video and you're encouraged by anything you see or hear, please don't be selfish. Go on ahead and pass it on to somebody else, because the same way you're being encouraged, the same way you're being ministered to, the same way this video is helping you, somebody else could use that same help. So please go on ahead and pass it on. Number two, take some time to hop in these comments. Maybe we can get some conversations going. We can further the dialogue that this video and other videos could present. Now, obviously, just like you could be saying, be kind and respectful. Ain't nobody got time for foolishness. Moving right along. If you dig this channel and you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and ring that bell so you can get all the notifications as to when things are coming through. Now, that being said, let's get into what I want to talk about today, about how the college campus is a missions field. It's really cool because in this season of ministry in my life, between being a young adult leader at my local church and having served with Cru as affiliate staff for officially the last 4 years, but I've been around the community for the past 12. So, and also between the dope relationships I have with folks in Chi Alpha and having the ability and the privilege to be able to visit different campuses and stuff like that, there's campus ministry is in my heart, has been for quite some time. And with that being said, I want to help some of you who may not really understand what goes on with campus ministry or what it would even look like to be a part of campus ministry. Now, how I want to do this is I want to bring a quote that Dr. Bill Bright, the founder of Campus Crusade for Christ, which is currently known as Cru, he stated at one point in time that we can reach the university today, we can reach the world tomorrow. In 2022, a lot of ways that still proves true, because you got folks in the college campus, folks who leave, graduate, they end up serving in various spheres, whether it's sports, government, end up in Hollywood, end up as a recording artist. There's so many different spheres of influence that people who end up going to college and end up being a part of. It's an easy way once they graduate college. Imagine being able to make disciples of Jesus on the college campus and then allowing those people who are followers of Jesus to move into those spheres and let them lead in those spheres with the heart of Jesus. More disciples can be made in those various spheres. In addition to that, we got a huge opportunity on the international front because there's a lot of folks coming from different countries. They're receiving their education here at universities in the United States, and some of these countries are closed countries. Some of these countries, you can't just go over there and say you're a missionary and that you serve and you follow Jesus. At best, they can get you kicked out. At worst, you could also end up being killed. Some of these countries are really high risk, and we still have people who do what's necessary. They get the different jobs and the different trades and do whatever is necessary to get over to those countries. Having people coming from those countries to university is one unique advantage point of serving on a college campus, because it now makes it easier. Instead of us having to go to the nations are coming here in the form of the university. So that's one quick aspect and one way I want to further, because I remember a conversation I had with a friend who was a youth pastor at the time. And I remember we were on our way to a church service. It was late November 2013, possibly even early December. It was somewhere in that time frame. I had just gotten back probably a few weeks ago from having spent time over in Blacksburg after having my first visit since my sister graduated, getting to know more folks in the Chi Alpha community. You want to know more specifically about how I got involved with the Chi Alpha community, check. There's a whole video that you can take a look at. But for right now, I remember just getting back from there. I remember talking about that, talking about my involvement with stuff with George Mason, because the semester was close to wrapping up, and so just talking through what I was up to as far as being involved on campus. And At some point before the question I'm getting ready to say you was asked, it was almost, while they didn't come out and say it for reasons I'm fairly certain of, that they didn't want to appear a certain way. However, you could tell there was this undertone of like, wait, what are you doing there? Like, why aren't you involved with stuff in your local church? Which, mind you, I was at that time, but that's a whole different conversation for a different day. Either which way, the question then ended up coming up that, if what was happening on the college campus would be happening in your local church, would you be there? Would you be a part? And I remember immediately saying, that's impossible. That they looked at me like I was crazy, almost like, what do you mean? I said, that's impossible, because what happens on a college campus in the form of campus ministry, like you're called to minister to the entire campus. Like, you literally can't take George Mason University and fit it in your local church. You literally cannot take Virginia Tech and fit it into any local church. Just like you couldn't go overseas in, say, North Africa, Iraq, Afghanistan, any place like where you serve on the mission. You couldn't take that specific place and put it inside your church. And then let me even go to the context, because nowadays you know how in the church we also make it clear, like, hey, your job is in mission field. I have a what I call a tent making job. I work at Walmart. I cannot take Walmart and put Walmart inside the Christ Chapel. I can't take Skid Row, the inner city of Los Angeles, and put it inside the local church building. In many of those instances, all those instances, you can't take the places and put them in the church building. But in all of these instances, you can send people from the church building to those specific spheres and minister to the people. And so, that being said, while college campus ministry is meant to minister to the campus, so you cannot take a campus ministry and put it inside a local church. However, that does not mean that the local church cannot partner with campus ministry, because the local church and campus ministry is an arm of the body of Christ. Therefore, the local church and campus ministry are not, should never be in competition, because most orgs, Crew has a very strong emphasis on working with the local church. Chi Alpha is a part of the Assemblies of God, which is a movement that plants churches as well as sends people out to overseas missions and missions within the United States. There's other organizations like InterVarsity, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, like all these people who are ministering to the campus. They're not here to compete with the local church. In a lot of cases, there's partnership with the local church. Now, I don't want what I'm about to say next to be an end-all be-all type of statement, because some of you are serving in different areas of the world, country, and your church might be located in proximity to a different campus. The best way to find out how you, from a local church standpoint, can partner with ministry happening on a local college campus is to go to that campus and ask those serving on that campus directly, in what ways can I serve? What ways could we come alongside the work that the Lord's having you do? Building relationships, finding out what the lives of people are like. That's the 100% best way to get a more concrete answer, depending on the area you live in, depending on the type of college campus you serve. Because there's community college, there's there's all types of variables and different aspects. Some college campuses are in cities like DC Chi Alpha, which I'm going to further get to in a second. So there's various areas of where the college campus are. The best way to find out how to serve that campus is to go to those who are serving on the campus and talk with them directly. Now I'm going to give you an example of a conversation that I had recently with my good friend Blaine Young, who you've seen previous videos where I've had a chance to go to AU and share with students. Matter of fact, I get to hang out with him tomorrow, so that's going to be pretty dope too. We were with Pastor Francina, one of the local pastors at my church, Christ Chapel, and we were talking about what are ways to partner. One of the specific ways that were mentioned was because, again, this goes with international students being a part of the campus. A lot of international students who are students on campus, they want to see what American life is like outside of the college campus. So taking them grocery shopping and helping them do errands like that, allowing them in your home, allowing them to come to church with you, allowing them to see what your life is like as an American is a huge seed that can be planted in addition to all the work that happens on the campus to minister to international students. And now, some other ways that can work are, one, the most important way would be to pray. Pray for those on the field, pray for those who are serving, pray for those students, and pray for professors, and pray for doors to be opened up for the word of God to go forth and the gospel to go forth in power. That's the best way. Pray. In addition to praying, also giving, because those who are serving on campus full time, just like you have people who serve overseas full time, you have people who serve in other various capacities full time. That's their livelihood. That's how they're able to continue to stay there and serve what the Lord is doing on the campus. Giving is definitely important. Thirdly, like I just mentioned, the specific example that Blaine gave us is, again, as the local church, build relationships with students, build relationships with the staff and the movement on campus. Because if you're wanting to serve the movement, there are so many different ways the local church can partner, from providing a church home for students, because most genuinely solid campus ministries out there, the ones I am a part of, the ones that I can endorse, the ones I've been able to sit down, they are huge on connecting with the local church. A lot of these people also serve in the local church alongside of doing their work on campus ministry in certain degrees. So again, while you cannot take the college campus ministry and put it in the local church, the local church can partner with the campus ministry. Again, building real deal relationships so you can find out what actual needs are. Finding ways to be able to, like I said, provide students with a church home, especially if you're really close to the campus. Because one thing I think people need to understand too, especially with full throttle 4-year universities, like where most people who are in the, George Mason has a little bit of both and. George Mason has a lot of commuters, and George Mason has a lot of people from outside of their hometowns and areas, and even international, where there's a lot of folks who home while they're at George Mason is considered home. So to help them feel more at home outside of the campus, again, local church, allowing them homes, opening up your homes, the same thing, just being present and available. And in some cases, that actually could mean going to the campus and discipling students, because depending on the situation of the campus, they could need some folks to come alongside and minister to students and disciple students, who will then turn around and disciple more students, because the gospel going forth, given that college campuses are centered around the students who go there, a student is the best one to go and reach another student with the gospel. And there are also times where students need to be discipled, and there might be a shortage of people available, so that's a way to come and serve. Again, circling back to my original comment, the best way to find out how those specific needs are to work are for you to go to the campus and build real deal relationships with staff and student leaders and the like as a local church, and then from there get to work as the Lord, melds things together. That's not difficult. So if you want to know a little bit more about how to really dive in deep as far as seeing how the college campus university is a mission field, I have a book recommendation. I remember back in the May of 2013 when I got to go to Awaken at Dawn, the conference where I met the peeps and Chi Alpha at Virginia Tech, and 9 years later, I still have pretty dope relationships with folks like Anthony and Michelle Saladino and others. That whole story, again, is available in another video. I was at that conference and I came across this book right here from Trent Shepard, God on Campus, Sacred Causes, and Global Effects. And in that particular book, I got to see some really dope things, like the history of college campuses like William and Mary, Harvard, Yale, how like a lot of these colleges started off as even seminaries to send people out into the world and to see the knowledge of Jesus Christ go forth. And while a lot of these universities don't have that particular reputation today, you even get to see why that's the case. And also, you even got to see how revivals had started within this country as college students getting together and pray, spending time asking God to move within the city. And all of this started on the campus. So the campus has always had a reputation of being a gateway to the world. And so there's a lot that goes into. There's also a website you can go to, campusministrytoday.org. They have plenty of resources, including a podcast and blogs and all other type of stuff that's available. And there's more resources than that. If you're really interested, again, that's the time for the hop in these comments and ask these questions so certain links can be shared and certain things can go forth. So as I prepare to take it on home, I want you to remember this. Hop in those comments. Also, if you have any ideas of certain things that could be talked about that could minister to you as a college student, someone who has a heart for college students, or someone who's on staff with the campus org, shoot me an email at kevonmission2.0@gmail.com. And again, don't be selfish. This is encouraging you. Encourage somebody else. All right. I'm going to get out of here for now, but I will see y'all soon. All right now. Peace.